Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque on Thursday says conspiracy to commit terrorism is enough of a basis to tag members of non-armed leftist legal fronts as terrorists. This, a day after President Rodrigo Duterte said he would arrest not only armed communist rebels for terrorism, but also members of non-armed legal fronts. Duterte said, quote, "I will simply declare you all terrorists. You're terrorists and even your legal fronts are terrorists. I know. Let's not fool each other. I've been there." The president also previously said he would issue a proclamation categorizing the Communist Party of the Philippines as a terrorist group. Roque says the act of one is the act of all in a conspiracy. He adds, quote, "Even if they did not physically take up arms, if they are part of a conspiracy to commit acts of terror or rebellion, then they can be held liable under the theory of a conspiracy. Under the Human Security Act of 2007, conspiracy to commit terrorism is a crime that has a penalty of up to 40 years in prison. Conspiracy to commit terrorism is not listed as an act of terrorism." But Roque says not all members of communist legal fronts will be ordered arrested. He says only those deemed by Philippine security agencies as conspiring against the government will be arrested upon Duterte's orders. Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Serena's camp says lawyer Larry Gadon is using the resources of the House of Representatives to fish for evidence in the impeachment complaint he filed against the Chief Magistrate. Serena's spokesperson JOSA DEINLA slams the House Justice Committee for letting Gadon get away with his fishing expedition. DEINLA says, quote, "It served to highlight one crucial fact. There is no solid evidence and sufficient grounds for impeachment against the Chief Justice." But Gadon says the House panel is only doing its constitutional duty. Gadon says the House's subpoena powers are there precisely for this kind of situation, where additional evidence is needed in an impeachment proceeding. The Justice Committee on Wednesday said it will subpoena Associate Justices Teresita Leonardo de Castro and Noel Tiham, as well as SC Public Information Office Chief Theodore Te and SC Clerk of Court Felipa Anama. But court sources say SC justices are reviewing a resolution issued by the High Court in 2012, saying justices cannot be compelled to testify before an impeachment proceeding. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says his 1.5-hour experience riding the MRT3 and LRT1 is not that bad. This amid the near-daily breakdowns of the MRT3 in recent months. Roque says, quote, "My experience was, since there were no glitches, it wasn't really that bad, but the lining up took long." He says the long lines experienced by commuters during rush hour means there is a real need for the government to purchase more train carriages. Roque, who began his train ride past 9 a.m. or after the morning rush hour, says he can only imagine the suffering of train passengers at those critical times. Once in the carriage, Roque comments on the strong gust of air conditioning. Roque says, quote, "It's cold and I like it because I get to talk to many people." Upon arriving at the TAFT station, Roque walked fairly quickly to the LRT1 EDSA station. Roque and the media are made to pass through the priority lane at the LRT1 so as not to delay the regular lines. It was at this point when 3 LRT1 security personnel accompanied the group. At each stop of the train, the 3 security personnel stop other commuters from getting inside the carriage where Roque is. The other would-be passengers are asked to go to other carriages. Senators questioned the Justice Department's decision clearing former Customs Commissioner Nicanor Faeldon in a 6.4 billion peso worth of smuggled shabu from China under his term. Senate President Koko Pimentel says he would ask Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre, his party mate, for an explanation. Pimentel says the dismissal of cases against Faeldon and his subordinates is not believable. He says, quote, "How could such a big shipment of 600+ kilos of shabu and in an organized way slip past customs without the involvement of people from customs? There must be somebody there from the inside who facilitated the release of the shipment." Senator Panfilo Lacson calls on Aguirre to review the decision, saying he and other legislators are shocked and angered with the DOJ move. Senator Bam Aquino slams the decision and says Senate investigations clearly showed otherwise. Earlier this year, the DOJ also downgraded murder charges against Police Superintendent Marvin Marcos and other cops involved in the killing of Albuera Mayor Rolando Espinosa Sr. inside his jail last year. This is contrary to the findings of the Senate Public Order Committee, which found there was a deliberate plan to kill the late mayor. Ateneo Blue Eagle Isaac Go is the undisputed hero in his team's Final Four victory against the Far Eastern University Tamaraws. Go first sinks a three-pointer that ties the game with 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter to force overtime. The Ateneo center then scores while on his knees to increase Ateneo's lead to 5 with 22 seconds remaining in overtime. Go's heroics comes 10 days after he missed a game-winning shot versus the De La Salle Green Archers. The loss against their arch-rivals prevented Ateneo from sweeping the UAAP basketball tournament's elimination round and gaining an outright final seat. After the game, an overjoyed Go jokes he would have wanted to score the game winner like University Fighting Maroon Paul Desiderio. Go says, quote, "I wanted to go like Paul. This is ours." The phrase was first attributed to Desiderio, who would say it before winning 2 games this season.